Last time we covered the basics of the Dart unit test library. In this episode we are going to look at mocking and stubbing. Since different people have different opinions on what should be called a mock or spy, I'm going to use the term test double to avoid all sorts of religious debates. First, I'd like to briefly describe how the Dart mock library implements test double. Every test double has a list of specified behaviors, and each behavior consists of a call matcher and a list of responders. An example would be every time the foo method is called, 10 should be returned. Every interaction with a test double will be recorded. This log can be used to check that all the necessary calls have been made. Such checks are usually written at the end of a test. Don't worry if it sounds a little bit too abstract. It will become much clearer after we have taken a look at some code samples. And that's what we're going to do right now. As you can see, I've imported the unit test and mock libraries. And now let's open the code we're going to test. There are two classes, music player and remote control. And as you can see, the interaction is quite straightforward. A remote control uses a music player. Starting with the simplest case, just stubbing a method. The calls2 function returns a call matcher, and always return registers a responder. Next example, let's inspect the activity logs and verify that the change volume method was called only once. Here I'm using the same call matcher to query the activity logs. I don't have to provide exact arguments, I can use matchers instead. Here I'm using isPositive, which returns true if the argument was a positive number. I'm not going to cover it here, but defining custom matchers is straightforward as well. The last example I'd like to show is defining a partial test double. To do it, I will create a test double that wraps a real object and delegates to it every time the change volume method is called. Here, the turnoff method is stubbed out, but change volume is handled by a real object. Let's quickly check the tests, and everything is green. To recap, every test double has a collection of behaviors that you specify before you exercise the code under test. Every behavior comprises a call matcher and a bunch of responders. There is a wide variety of built-in matchers, but of course you can define your own. To check the interaction of your code with a test double, you use activity logs. Thanks for watching.